Bob Carr here with another episode of the Bob Carr Show. In the studio today, Mr. Gary Koch. Mr. Koch, welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be here. How are you, Bob?
I'm doing fantastic. Something I want to bring up, I've been meaning to ask you this for years.
Okay.
And your yellow tablet. How do you get so much done in a day with a yellow tablet and a couple markers? Tell us your secret.
I started that 46 years ago, right out of business school. Had a list of things I knew I wanted to accomplish. So rather than try to keep track of it, I wrote it down. Had one side said calls, another side said to do.
You do that 7 days a week?
7 days a week.
I want to interrupt you to make sure everybody's picking that up.
No, I actually, it sounds a little sick, but I enjoy updating that on a routine basis.
I've been on the recipient of the calls too, which is always good because when I've asked you questions or I need your help in the past, I know you're saying, let me write that down. And you say, I'll call you the next morning, and you, to the minute, always call. So you couldn't do all that if you didn't write it down, because there's no way you could remember all that.
No way.
With all the people you deal with all day long.
Nope. I've got that yellow pad in my car right now. It's about 5 pages.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because I always thought you got that from your mom and your dad years ago, but it was right out of school.
Well, I probably picked it up from both of them, watching them over the years. I'm sure my dad, he was a builder, so he kept track of who he had to call every evening.
I got you.
All the different
subs. And I can see your mom doing that too.
Oh, my mom, yep. She had
I can see her doing that too.
Had her list of chores.
Write it down now.
Around the house, you better be.
She'd do it to us on Christmas time. You remember that, Bob? Did you remember that? Do you put that on your list when you return? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I can remember that like yesterday with your mom.
Absolutely.
No,
I still love keeping a list.
Yep. I gotcha. So 7 days a week, you update it and go through it?
Just about, yeah. Maybe not every day, but...
You got it with you?
5 out of 7.
I gotcha. So even when you're traveling, you always have it with you?
Always. I get some of my best work done on a plane trip.
Do you?
No interruptions, yep.
Because everything nowadays, everybody wants to do on a tablet or their smartphone.
No.
So you take that tablet with you and go through it, huh?
I do.
What do you do? Like once a month, you get another tablet? Is that what you do?
Well, sure. After I run out of that one.
Then you just hold on to it. So you probably got boxes of them.
No,
You throw them?
As I work through the list, and that list is done.
Gone? You don't hold on to it to look through it again? Gone?
Gone.
I got you.
On to the new.
So what advice would you have for young people starting out in business?
I would say, one, hopefully you've chosen a business that you're passionate about, because you've heard it so many times. If you're passionate about something,
sure,
you don't mind working at it and working hard at it. And whatever it is, pursue it aggressively. And again, follow through, organization, making sure you're on top of your game, making sure that you do what you're supposed to do to represent the other people. That you're on your game and you expect them to do the same. Treat people fairly.
What about when you got to tell somebody, no, you couldn't get something done? I've had to do that with you before, and that's always hard to make that phone call, but I found out dealing with our relationship over the years,
yep,
that it's better to tell you
absolutely
than to try to hide from you or run from it.
Absolutely. I always respect if somebody can't get it done if there's a reason for it. And if it's a legitimate reason.
Weather?
It's difficult for me, to argue with that. Might still be frustrated because you've delayed, but
at least you know.
Yeah, at least you know, and you respect the person for being forthright. And
pick up the phone and call you.
Absolutely.
Tell you what's going on.
Always the best way.
You gave me that advice years ago. We were talking about marriage, and I remember you said, we're still going to have problems, still going to have situations. You're going to have to deal with them, Bob. And I thought about that for the longest time after I left, and I was like, well, I wasn't too positive. And then it took me about 3 months, and it dawned on me like, well, yeah, we're all human. We're all going to deal with different things.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So it's always good advice. Oh. We appreciate you coming in the studio today, Mr. Koch. Enjoyed it.
Pleasure to be here. That was easy. Thank you.
And this wraps up another episode of the Bob Carr Show. We'll see you guys next week on another episode.